if I ever stop getting the free offers or extensions, I probably won't pay any more money because I don't think the programming is worth listening to on a paid basis. Just like Pandora. I pay that shit through my cell phone, but I really, really rarely listen to Pandora. And I might as well just cancel it and save money on my cell phone bill. Why? Because I have an MP3 player. I download some of my stuff to it. I listen to that. I have an adapter which I can plug it up into the car speakers and listen through it and all that stuff. And that's pretty much how it goes. Green has popped his parachute, landing in his feet. So say hello, Green. Green Bean.
Hello, good morning, good afternoon, and good night to all. Wow. Y'all meetings, man. Y'all meetings, man. You have 2 fans. I didn't know about these meetings. I wish I was in one of the meetings.
But once you become a producer, you can go to those meetings. I wasn't at the meetings either. I just met the guy.
Okay.
I met the guy in passing who said he was my number 1 fan. I thought, okay. Asian kid. He goes to Towson University, I think. I get it all wrong. I'm trying to remember. Did he say Towson? What's the college? They got a radio station. Morgan got a radio station.
Yeah, Morgan got a radio
station.
No.
Is it Towson? Or is it Towson?
Is it where? Towson is not well.
Radio station? No, Towson.
I think both got radio station, but Towson's not good with the radio, but the other one's good with the radio. I think like Morgan and the other one you talked about.
He's from one of those.
Radio, but Towson's not.
From one of those schools that have a radio station. I can't remember what he said. He talked so fast. It was like the micro machines, man. Number 1 thing. So I think he said Goucher or Towson, whatever it's up for. 89.7, I believe.
Oh, yeah, it's Goucher. That's Goucher.
Okay. So he's a communications and broadcasting major at the Goucher, and he also works for Sirius XM. He's one of those 5 executives for Sirius XM.
Okay.
We drove to, it's like 6-7 years ago, and I saw a Sirius broadcast station. And I guess you go to that building to do your show. As far as Baltimore, there is no place to go broadcast your show, except for Radio 1 off of Whitehead Road. But I really don't want to. I just don't like Kathy Hughes.
A lot of people say that. A lot of people say they don't like Kathy Hughes. I wonder why. Was she pissed off?
She's all about the money and not the quality of your work. So if you start losing money or losing listenership, you're out the door with no notice. So I can't afford to do that.
Really?
These people have a contract. So if anything goes wrong, they have to honor the agreement. And I can't be released before that agreement. So it's 3 years with the option for 5. You can't beat that nowhere else. That means it locks the prices for 5 years. Go somewhere else, every season costs more money. And we probably won't even be at season 3 if it costs more than we're paying now. I think it's highway robbery. But for the amount of time and options and things that you have, sure, I gave a suggestion to have a metered number and charge us by the meter. Because you have a phone line, that's what you're basically paying for. You're paying for a phone line that takes 1,000 listeners or calls at one time, soundboard, switchboard, and all of that stuff. So that's one bad news. The second bad news, the marquee that I guess it's a marquee. I guess that's what you call it. It's a mobile thing that drives around with advertising on the side. Because of the COVID, marquee idea is scratched. They asked for an alternative like a skywriter. The skywriter is going to cost more money because they have to take the lettering and put it on a stripe and let people fly with the lettering. I said, well, I'm not big on all that extra stuff. Just put a radio advertisement on the radio. Most stations won't advertise other radio stations. So they've changed.
Interesting.
Because 92 Keys talk about 95.9, but then again, they're all Radio 1 stations. So they all advertise each other. So I understand. I got it. Just like we don't advertise other people's radio stations. So I get it. I got it. So we can advertise the website, and they can find the radio station from there. That's a good idea, Dr. G. That's a good idea. Okay, so try that out. Because the word of mouth idea that we were doing that was promoting people was working. Even when we used to go out there and do live sets. But with the COVID, it didn't go out there. Restaurants were closed, so we couldn't do no more live sets. There wasn't no more open mics where we had people doing talent for the first time. There was no more comedy. We would find. That's how we discovered Kevin Hart one time, coming to the Baltimore the Comedy Factory. But no, COVID comes from everybody got to stay indoors. So all these places were losing money and go out of business. And they were happy to have us come in there because any type of publicity is great publicity. Except the El Dorado Club. Now, I've never been. And every time somebody tells me about it, I say, okay, I'll look into it. I go to the website, and it looks like a dangerous situation. Don't nobody know what's going on. Half the advertisers on the website, they say they don't do it no more. They don't have no open mics like they used to, but it says you do. They don't have no jazz club, but it says you do. So what am I getting myself into? What's there besides liquor and stripping? And you have to understand it's a G or PG, whatever, radio show. You can't. And with no stripper, look at her titty. You know, you can't be doing all that. That's nonsense. And so, I'll say. Third and final bad news, ladies and gentlemen, is we had the three engineers. Remember I told you about Troy. I keep saying Troy, get them all mixed up. Troy, which likes that old school vibe, and he's right on point, but he's at Frostburg University. I don't know what's so great about that. That's where Cody was going. And he had a cousin, Dre. You got Dre, who fills in for Troy. And then you have a friend of the family, Cody's side of the family. I don't know the guy. Named Ray. Ray is an older gentleman, classic. Ray was doing the engineering for us, supposedly doing engineering for us all this week. So he's not in the room with me. Usually you hear me say, "What you say, Dre?" Because Dre is in the room with Mr. Ray is not in the room with me. He's either at a hotel or he's over wherever he's at. He can do it remotely. And wherever he was at last night while the show was going on, I believe I said, let's take a break. Let's go to final thoughts. Well, we never got there. I took a couple of calls because the calls were waiting, but I never got an indication that we had any calls waiting. You know, the engineer is the one who tells me how many calls are there. Just a little text message. 3CW tells me there are 3 calls waiting. And I'll say, Green, we got a call. I'll go ahead and take the next call. And that's the cue for them to turn on their mic in the order that they call. Because I can't see anything. That's not on my screen. What's on my screen right now, as I look, I have 3 microphone symbols, which which is my microphone stumble, Green's microphone stumble, telephone line microphone stumble, in case I want to dial out, order a pizza or something. For example, let me try to, I'll show you what it does. It just gives you a ringtone. That's it. And that's or I can get the headset, take that call in my headset at the same time. Well, I can't hear what you're saying if I'm in headset. But you can hear what I'm saying. But I can't do it both. Keep up with it. As you get dialed up. It's third. Other than that, and it's a great guy. So there is and greatest Nike. And Troy is he doesn't have time to speak. He's got internet. So still
I can't hear you.
It's like what?
I can't hear you.
What? One thing. So what I have is the way it is when I get call. Focus call. Wait for it. I just said yesterday. Look at how much shit. With a chronic back, how much you do back. Great time.